What would it take to teach at Harvard Business School e-commerce, direct to consumer? The most amazing group of founders who would come in every year and teach students about what it really means to build a business from scratch. This one class has changed the direction of my life. I had an epiphany walking through the campus of Harvard. I was checking in on one of my restaurants on the perimeter, and I said, what would even have been better than going to Harvard, teaching at Harvard? What would it take to teach at Harvard Business School, the #1 institution in the world? What could I do to teach at that school? And it occurred to me, what's the one thing that I think I know that Harvard needs that they don't possess? And that is e-commerce, direct to consumer. Harvard at the time was not known for birthing entrepreneurs. Stanford had that. I don't know how many people in the room remember this, but UPenn had that too. A lot of the Warby Parkers of the world came out of Wharton. And so Harvard didn't have that. And I pitched the school on creating the most amazing group of founders who would come in every year and teach students about what it really means to build a business from scratch. And we would do it around direct to consumer. And what motivated me was, I'm sure a lot of people can relate in this room, I would meet these founders who would pitch my fund. And I would ask them, like, what's your Amazon strategy? They're like, I don't know. I was like, well, but you have like an MBA. Like, what do they teach you at that place? And now I presumed, no offense to anybody, I mean, I teach at one, right? But like, it's remarkably not tactical, right? Like it's very theoretical. But I felt like they weren't coming away with these hard skills. I was like, why don't we create the Lollapalooza of direct to consumer? And again, a year of work to convince them to give me this class, and still the imposter syndrome, crept up again. And you know what it came up over? I write backwards because as a kid growing up in all this dysfunction, I taught myself how to write, but my letters are all backwards and I'm weirdly insecure about it. You cannot read my handwriting. I'm the worst doctor in America. You can't read their scripts. You cannot read my handwriting. So of course, Sarah again, she's like, well, babe, what if we install a chalkboard in the room and you can practice all year. So that was my state of mind. I put together this course. And as you could see, Kim Kardashian has been there. We just had Ryan Reynolds. And ultimately, the first year, a student hands me a note at the end of it and says, read this when you get home. He's like, this school I thought it was going to be something different. I thought I was going to learn about the entrepreneurial journey, but it has let me down. He said, but this one class has changed the direction of my life. And I was going to drop out of HBS, but I decided to stay here because you delivered so much value. And it was an amazing, amazing moment. It's still on my desk. It's one of my favorite possessions. I'm not like a collector of things but like that damn note, you know what I mean? Like that's what happens when you burn the boats.